I thought I would update everyone on my Super Something progress. You may recall that I got this frame in September of 2023. It's now mid-February, so it's been, 5 months, and well, it doesn't look like I've made any progress. I actually think I've accomplished quite a lot in terms of at least accumulating the parts and getting ready to put it together. And so I've got a little stack of parts going, as you can see here. So I've made some progress. It's been interesting. I had to take apart this old Mercs that I've had because of some damage to this top tube, and it was making me nervous enough that I wasn't riding it anymore. So, but was able to take a few parts from an existing bike and set them aside for use on the SKLAR. But let's go through what I've accumulated so far. Okay, so first up are these Growtac equal mechanical disc brakes. These are post mount. I had definitely decided to do mechanical discs rather than hydraulic because at the end of the day, they just seemed easier and more intuitive for me to maintain. I don't know anything about bleeding hydraulics or things like that, so this just seemed like a better choice for me personally and my limited mechanical skills. They're pretty light and very handsome. I feel like I got pretty lucky to get these in silver. Now, these were the only pair of these that they had left in the shop, so it's not like I actually had much choice, but I'm super happy with how they look and how they are finished. Really handsome stuff. You can get these here in the States from Velo Orange. They're very well reviewed. In fact, on YouTube, both Pathless Pedaled and the Bike Sauce have had some pretty good things to say about these, and particularly about how powerful they are for mechanical discs. Part of me really wanted to do Paul clampers on this bike, but the price of these in Japan was too good to pass up. And one of the things that you can see is that they come with the cables as well as two types of housing. And what this allows you to do is use sort of the normal soft housing to accommodate the bends in your drop bars, and then the compressionless housing is for the straight runs to the caliper itself. And the idea here is that you lose far less efficiency than if you were to use just standard housing alone. So that's pretty cool. It came with everything that you need to set these up. The other thing is, I think maybe the size of these are proportionally better for the smaller SKLAR frame than the clampers might have been. Let's take a look, actually. You can kind of see here how nicely those are going to sit in there. And I don't anticipate any fiddliness in the back here with regards to their adjustability. But you can see that's going to look pretty good. The other thing I got at Blue Lug are these pedals. Nice thin flat pedal, pretty light. I'm a little bit concerned about how aggressive these pins are. They're cool because they're replaceable and it comes with a little wrench to allow you to do that. But it is making me think that I am always going to have to think about what shoes I'm wearing when I ride this bike. Is it going to be a pair that I'm okay sacrificing the soles on over the course of a few rides? Or maybe I just get a pair of shoes specific for flat pedal riding. Anyway, really happy with these too. These are cool. They'll look great. These are the 650B Dynamo Disc Adventure wheel set, I think is what they're called. At any rate, they're branded Mason Hunt, and it's very nice, sort of subtle branding. Flip it around, and this is probably all the information you need on these. 650B asymmetric 584 by 25 internal rim width. They are tubeless ready, and they came pre-taped, and they also were sent with a set of tubeless valves. The front is laced to a Son 28 dynamo hub. It's exactly like the one I run on my Riv, except in black. If you've never run a dynamo before, I would strongly recommend that you go out and give it a try. It's so fantastic just to have light on demand and not have to worry about charging it up ever. It's just on. You hardly notice any resistance. In fact, I don't notice any at all. I would imagine that there is a little bit, but it's negligible, and it's just really, really durable and fantastic. I've been super happy with them. So my intention is on the SKLAR to run a little rack up front, and I'll drop the light under that. Along with the wheels, I got a pair of Shimano disc brake rotors, 160 for the rear and then 180 for the front, and that's per SKLAR's recommendation for mechanical discs. So this is the front 180 out of the box. It's a pretty beefy disc, so I am a little bit concerned about aesthetically how heavy this is going to look relative to it being such a small frame. And at some point I may switch out for different rotors, though I do appreciate the fact that these will probably dissipate heat really well. And they seem, you know, super durable. Again, this is my first pair of disc brakes, so what do I know? Let's just hope it looks good. So I have to give a quick shout out to my industry friends, Tim and Billy. I've been developing this build list all through the fall, and Tim has been giving me great feedback on this because, coming from friction and rim brakes on the Rivendell, I had no idea how the different component manufacturers had created these walled gardens around their parts and their systems. So I've been learning a lot about what works with what and what doesn't. So at any rate, these friends were really able to help me land on and secure some really nice components. So thank you so much, Tim and Billy, because now I've also got these beautiful items from White Industries. The stuff is really nicely packaged too. Boy, so I have the headset and then the crank set here. Let's see if I can get this open with one hand. So the cranks, bottom bracket, and the spindle instructions, and then a chain ring. Let me show you what it looks like put together. I mean, I haven't torqued anything down here, but I mean, seriously, how amazing is this going to be? It's just going to look, incredible on this bike. I can't tell you how excited I am to be running White Industry cranks. These are 165s, so a little bit shorter because I have kind of short legs. And then this front chainring is a 36. And my plan and intention is to run 11 to 48 in the back, probably microshift. And at the end of the day, it's just like, I'd rather be able to climb maybe with a light load than to go fast going downhill, which I hardly ever do. So I think that gearing is going to work out really, really well for me. These Iris bottle cages actually came off of my Rivendell before they were replaced with some lighter wire Nito cages, actually one Nito cage, and I was just running one for a while, and then for some reason I added a cage from PDW that looks like a little dog. I don't remember why I did that. But speaking of the Rivendell, though, it's good context for why I've decided, and I don't think I've mentioned this yet, why I've decided to go ahead and build the SKLAR up by myself rather than taking the pile of parts to a shop and having them do it. Let me show you the Riv, and I'll tell you a little bit about how I arrived at this decision. This is my Rivendell Sam Hilborn. It's from, I think, 2012 or 2013. And you'll have to pardon all the grime and dirt. It's winter here in Oregon, so, and I ride this pretty much every day. But what's giving me confidence about this build is the fact that almost every part you see on this bike, with the exception of the shifters, the fenders, the front rack, front derailleur, and I think that's it. Everything on here, I personally replaced at least once in the lifetime of this bike. So I'm feeling like I have some wrenching skills. So I think, I don't know, I think I'll be able to put the SKLAR together. So that is my update on the SKLAR build at month 5. I think I've actually hit my budget limit for the quarter at least. Still a lot to go. The whole cockpit, the transmission, all of that stuff. The tires. I haven't landed on exactly what tires I want to use yet. So that'll all be coming up probably over the next, it's February, March, April, May, June, over the next 4 months, I think. My goal right now is to have this build done by June. So be on the lookout for maybe a little bit of a build video and then a final reveal. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this.